الحضور الكريم، في البداية يسرني أرحب بكم في القمة الحكومية الأولى اللي تنعقد تحت شعار الريادة في الخدمات الحكومية. وأحب أنوه أن الجلسة إن شاء الله بيتم إدارتها باللغة العربية وبيكون في ترجمة فورية، فاللي حاب يستخدم أجهزة ترجمة موجودة عند كل كرسي. وفي نفس الوقت للي حابين يتواصلون عبر وسائل الاتصال الاجتماعي التويتر ممكن يستخدمون الهاشتاج مال القمة اللي هي هاش القمة _ الحكومية بالنسبة للغة العربية، وبالإنجليزية هاش gov summit كلمة واحدة. أصحاب السعادة الحضور الكريم، تقدرون تتخيلون معاي حكومة تلغي جميع تعاملاتها الورقية سواء داخل الحكومة بين جهاتها المؤسسات اللي تابعة للحكومة أو بين أفرادها من المتعاملين والأعمال؟ حد منكم يقدر يتخيل هالشيء؟ لا؟ anybody can imagine؟ ما حد يقدر يتخيل؟ تقدر تتخيل، ممتاز. في حد عايش معانا الحلم، انزين. وفي نفس الوقت تكون الخدمات المقدمة من الجهات الحكومية خدمات ذاتية، المواطنين نفسهم يقدرون يتعاملون ويتفاعلون معاه مباشرة. هذا هو حلم كل دولة وحلم كل الحكومات. الحمد لله، زين بنوصلها إن شاء الله بالصورة اللي نحلم فيها. اليوم الحضور الكريم حابين نستعرض تجربة فريدة جدا من نوعها من حكومة حاولت إنها فعلا تسوي هذا الشيء ولها خطة عمل دؤوبة تشتغل فيها إنها توصل بحكومة على قولتهم مع إلغاء الأعمال الورقية على مستوى الحكومي وفي التعامل مع الأفراد والأعمال. اليوم ضيوفنا إن شاء الله من حكومة الدنمارك يكلمونا عن تجربتهم في تحويل الخدمات إلى إلكترونية سواء على مستوى الأعمال أو الأفراد. التجربة هذه بدأت وياهم من سنة 2001 تقريباً بطريقة رسمية وخطة موضوعة، لكن قبل كان في مجموعة من المبادرات اللي بدت في سبيل توفير التحول الإلكتروني. حابة أعرفكم عن موضوعنا إن شاء الله. بالنسبة للموضوع اللي بنغطيه بنتكلم في عدة نقاط مهمة، إنزين، وإن شاء الله تكون الأهداف واضحة وهي تغطي التجربة اللي أنتم متوقعين تسمعون عنها. أهم المحاور الرئيسية اللي بتكون في الجلسة اللي هي شو أهم المحطات اللي مرت بها وكالة الأتمتة الدنماركية من أجل قيادة وتمكين التحول الإلكتروني للخدمات، وأبرز التحديات اللي واجهتها الوكالة لإنجاح المشروع، ودور الوكالة في إدارة عملية تقديم الخدمات الإلكترونية للمواطنين ورجال الأعمال، وكيف بيتم قياس الفعالية والكفاءة في نموذج التحول الإلكتروني للخدمات، وكيف ستتمكن الوكالة من إلغاء المعاملات الورقية داخل الحكومة من جهة وبين الحكومة المتعاملين من جهة أخرى، ودور الوكالة في تحقيق التكامل بين مستويات الثلاث للحكومة. الجماعة مثلنا عندهم وضع الحكومة المركزية واللامركزية والبلديات، فكيف بيسوون هالتكامل هذا؟ والحلول الإلكترونية المستخدمة اللي قدروا يطبقونها من أجل تحقيق المزيد من التعاون بين مختلف الإدارات الحكومية. وفي النهاية نطلع بأهم الدروس المستفادة من التجربة الدنماركية في التحول الإلكتروني للخدمات. خلونا نتعرف على ضيوفنا المتحدثين. أول شخص معانا إن شاء الله هو السيد يي جوي وانغ، مسؤول الشؤون الدولية في وكالة الأتمتة الدنماركية. وانغ كان يشتغل، ما زال يشتغل حاليا رئيس للتعاون الدولي في وكالة الأتمتة التابعة لوزارة المالية الدنماركية من 2010، وقبله أمضى 5 سنوات كرئيس وحدة في الأمانة العامة لمنظمة التعاون والتنمية الاقتصادية، وشغل منصب رئيس قسم في الهيئة الوطنية للاتصالات وتقنية المعلومات، ويتمتع بخبرة 15 عام في تطوير الاستراتيجيات والسياسات لمجتمع المعلومات والحكومة الإلكترونية في الوزارات المختلفة، وقبل كذي كان مستشار لفترة قصيرة في اتحاد الصناعات الدنماركية، وقبله اشتغل 9 سنوات مفتش خارجي في جامعة كوبنهاجن لتقنية المعلومات ومدرسة كوبنهاجن للأعمال. هذا متحدثنا الأول، وبعدين إن شاء الله عندنا المتحدث الثاني اللي هو السيد توماس جاكوبسون، الرئيس التنفيذي لخدمات المواطنين في بلدية كوبنهاغن اللي هي عاصمة الدنمارك، والسيد توماس يشتغل حاليا الرئيس التنفيذي في خدمة سكان كوبنهاغن، وكان يعمل قبله رئيس للأمانة العامة والاتصالات في قسم الثقافة والترفيه لدى عمدة كوبنهاغن، وبالإضافة إلى شغل مجموعة من المناصب في المدن الدنماركية لرؤساء البلديات كرئيس لمكاتب حكومات هذه البلديات وكمسؤول خدمة للمواطن والرقمنة. الشخصية الثالثة اللي بتحدثنا اليوم إن شاء الله هي السيدة سيسيل سكوفبورغ، رئيس الأتمتة في بلدية فريدريكسبرغ مكتب العمدة، وتعمل سيتسل رئيس لقسم الأتمتة في بلدية فريدريكسبرغ. أنا اليوم خذيت دورة كيف أتكلم اللغة الدنماركية بداية بأساميهم طبعاً. واشتغلت في مجموعة من مشاريع الحكومة الإلكترونية من إدارة الطيف، متنوع من مشروعات تقنية المعلومات، واشتغلت في موضوع مهم جدا بالنسبة لحديثنا اليوم اللي هي بوابة المواطنين burger.dk، وحصلت على مجموعة من الجوائز منها شهادة تقدير من ملكة الدنمارك لإنجازاتها في مجال الرقمنة، وجائزة الحل الرقمي المبتكر في عام 2007. واللي حاب يتعرف زيادة عن ضيوفنا إن شاء الله بتحصلون بروفايل كامل مالهم في موقع Government Summit. الحين بنبدأ إن شاء الله جلستنا بافتتاح البرزنتيشن. Mr. Wang, would you like to start your presentation, please? Okay.
Thank you very much. It has been definitely a pleasure to be invited here for this summit. And I would like, on behalf of the Danish delegation, my dear colleagues from the municipalities, to thank the government of United Arab Emirates for a kind invitation to us. We're very pleased to be here in order to share a little bit of our own experiences and our good practices. I would like to, in my presentation, to set what we call the context of e-government in Denmark in order to make you understand how we approach e-government and broader public sector reforms. E-government has, in fact, for more than 20 years, been at the heart of Danish public sector reforms. It has, over this period, altered how Denmark sees and practices public service delivery. It has changed the way we think how public services should be delivered in the years to come. And reforming the public sector, making it more efficient and effective in order to enable it to deliver services coherent, individualized and fast has been and is hard. Today, delivering services efficient and effective is the key lever for reforming the public sector and its service delivery. Denmark was, as so many other countries, challenged by the financial economic crisis in the fall of 2008. But we believed that the crisis was an opportunity to revitalize our public sector and how it functioned. We decided to initiate a number of reforms to make the public sector more lean, flexible, and efficient. A revised economic policy put digitization at the core of reforms towards 2020. Digital reforms of the public sector will be generating around 670 million euros in cost savings per year. We're here talking about initiatives focusing on utilizing full digital service transactions only. This includes digital communication with citizens and businesses, benefits realization, automations of public services. But we want to push the development of public services further and beyond traditional e-government initiatives. The Danish government will later this spring present an ambitious and far-reaching digital reform of the public sector, looking at how welfare technological solutions can provide more freedom and higher life quality to citizens. We see this also as an opportunity to save significantly on public service delivery, so those resources can be reallocated to areas of greater needs. As a crisis-recovering country, we are looking into the possibilities for cost savings. Why should citizens who are perfectly capable of using online public services waste public resources by using expensive human resources at the front desk of public authorities, whether these authorities are in central government or in local governments? And we're talking about significant cost savings potentials. From a recent analysis from the Ministry of Finance, we see that having citizens and businesses using e-services or self-service solutions online will have the public sector, will save the public sector more than 60% of the cost per transaction compared to personal services or traditional letters received by public authorities. It is interesting here to note that making unstructured digital communication alone does not result in cost savings. You need to have fully structured, seamless, and integrated service deliveries. The Danish context is in place for abolishing expensive service delivery channels and relying on digital services alone. Denmark is a mature e-government nation of 5.6 million inhabitants. 89% of the population aged 16 to 89 have internet access at home. 76% of the population use internet every day. 74% have sought information from public authority websites. And 91% of companies have interacted online with public authorities. This makes Denmark among the most mature e-government nations in the world. The public sector of Denmark is highly decentralized and independent by law. The subnational level has the discretion to set local tax. We have 5 regions with an average of 1.1 million inhabitants. Regions are responsible for healthcare. We have 98 municipalities with an average of 55,000 inhabitants. My colleagues here, who are with me here today, are from 2 larger Danish capital municipalities of Copenhagen and Frederiksberg. Municipalities in Denmark are responsible for public services areas such as elderly care, primary and lower secondary education, and childcare. Among 70% of public service delivery is delivered at the subnational level. We are here talking about a significant part of public service delivery. And what is quite unique in a Danish and in an international context is that we actually have a common vision and a common purpose and a common goal. Denmark has, since the early 1990s, developed national information society strategies and action plans. From the start of the millennium, Danish governments began to focus sharply on common public sector digitization, and especially on efficiency and effectiveness and the realizations of benefits. A number of action plans were developed in agreement between central government and the subnational level in order to strengthen progress as a coherent public sector. The strength of this collaboration since 2001 resulted in a number of remarkable results. Already back in 2001, we gave the citizens the right to send emails to public authorities, and those authorities were obliged to answer electronically. In 2004, we launched a public service security infrastructure using a common public sector free of charge digital signature to ensure secure communication between public authorities themselves and with citizens. Electronic communications was made mandatory between public authorities. The so-called E-days set common deadlines to achieve common milestones. Our focus has since the beginning of the millennium, been to share common infrastructures and to coordinate how public services are delivered. I can mention some of the important common public sector e-government infrastructure components used today by all. The second generation digital signature, NemID, or in English EasyID, as one example. The security infrastructure supporting ECID is a two-factor digital signature consisting of a self-chosen PIN code and a second one-time access code provided on a paper card. An agreement in Denmark with the bank sector has ensured that you can use the same digital signature to access your bank account online. The security infrastructure is open for private sector use too. We have one portal to access all citizen services in Denmark called Borger.dk. My colleagues will explain a little bit more about it in their presentations. And one portal to access services to businesses called Virk.dk. The Danish Citizens Portal gives today access to more than 600 different public services. And last month, almost 2 million citizens visited the portal, having in mind that Denmark has a population of 5.6 million. That is what is the background for our current e-government strategy. The digital path to future welfare. The current strategy spans a period from 2011 to 2015. The strategy covers broadly the major welfare areas such as health, education, and social and labor market areas. More than 60 different initiatives have been launched. All are monitored closely by the Ministry of Finance and the Agency for Digitization within the Ministry of Finance. The strategy can be downloaded from here, and you are also welcome to visit our stand just outside the meeting room. The Danish e-government strategy and action plan is comprehensive and covers all major areas of public service delivery. I'll not go through all the initiatives, though, but I will focus on one important new step in public service delivery in Denmark. As I previously mentioned, we are now talking about the next logical step of digital service delivery. We are going towards full digital service delivery. This means that all major services by law can only be accessed on the internet by 2015. We are on track to abolish all paper forms. And official communication between an authority and a citizen will already by next year happen solely through a digital postbox provided to all citizens by the government. However, we are not leaving the few citizens who, of different reasons, are not able or capable of using electronic means behind. They will be helped by municipal citizen counters. The transition towards full citizens. We're talking about initiatives focused on frontline service provision and not digitization of public administrations as seen in the previous years. We want to have a direct impact on life quality of each citizen when they are in need of public service provision. We're talking about services in the health sector, such as telemedicine, the educational sector, and the provision of social services and elderly care in the municipalities. We're continuing to work on common public sector solutions, standardization of digital infrastructure such as common IT architecture for the public sector, complying with European Union provision is underway. A major review of Danish legislation and regulation was already conducted in the period between 2001 and 2003 to abolish barriers for digital communication. More than 10,000 laws and bylaws and derived regulations were reviewed. Legislation was changed if there were requirements of physical tokens, such as physical signatures and documents. And in the coming years, we will ensure that the legislation supports our digitization efforts. Besides making services mandatory by law, new legislation will remove any ambiguity on whether interaction with authorities is to be done digitally or not. Using In my view, using ICT in public administration is today not an issue in itself, but it needs to be taken seriously as a key strategic tool for governments to use. This aspect is often overseen by politicians and top-level managers. E-government is not a question for technicians to deal with alone. It is one of the most important questions to be dealt with as part of strategic government business decisions. This includes service delivery organization, standardization for recognizability of public services, a strong focus on high-volume, high-frequency services, and a continuous strong focus on user relevance and inclusiveness in service design, production, and delivery. It is therefore important to see the public sector and its use of ICT as a fully integrated part of national and international economic development. The importance of having a state-of-art public sector of the same high quality, internally efficient, externally effective, is the key to have a globally competitive society which contributes to economic growth and job creations. E-government is enabling the public sector to become an efficient and effective partner for businesses and citizens nationally, regionally, and globally. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. And trying to get my presentation on.
It's on the way.
It's on the way?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I will do my presentation standing. My name is Thomas Jacobsen, and I'm CEO of the city of Copenhagen. And it is my job, as my colleague said from the government, it is my job in the city to implement this very ambitious strategy. And I must say, we are doing it very well. Actually, the citizens, they are loving our online services. They think it's better service. And still, we are saving a lot of money in the municipality. In Copenhagen, we are about 550,000 citizens there, and the job for me as CEO of the citizen service is like I'm the entrance for the citizen when they have to contact our municipality. I have the responsibility for the web page where we have more than 50 online services available at the time, and we are increasing. I have a professional call center with 140 employees taking phones from 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the evening. And we are helping people to use those online services. Also, we have 3 citizen service centers where people can meet up, 500,000 visits every year. And there we are helping people to use all the online services. And what we provide is like passport, driver's license, health insurance, personal identification and registration of address, a lot of social benefits, and giving advice on taxes and election, and also marrying people. Online 50 services, yes, that's what we have. And as we told, we are going very well. One of the biggest successes we have is when people are moving and they have to register their new address, they can do it online. And 80% of all address moving are handled online and fully automatic. Also, when you become 65 years in Denmark, you can apply for pension. In only 3 months, the 65 years old, we said to them, you have to go online and apply for your pension, and they did it. As you can see, 90% of the population are using the internet daily, so therefore they can do it. One of the things that is the key to all this success is this one. This here. Check it out. A small paper. This here is our code card is issued to every citizen in Denmark. 80% having this card now. It's a cooperation between the banks, every bank in Denmark, and the public sector. You can use it for transferring your money and to log into your bank account, but you can also use it to any kind of public online service. It's better than a token. It's much cheaper. And what you do is you have your social security number, which is unique in Denmark, and you will write that in, type it in to log in. You will have your personal code, and then you will have a code from this card here that will give you an access to your bank or to any online services. Yeah, I can. It's a code so you can log into your system, to any kind of system. It's put in the front, so therefore you log in and then you come into your bank, which kind of bank you have, and you can also go into the municipality, all these 50 online services we have, but also to government online services. So you will actually use this for accessing. And having 80% of the Danes using this card, then we can quickly start using all kind of technology. Okay? No, this here is highly secure. It is secure. You have your social, so you have to, this is a unique number that is personal for me. I have a personal code in my head, and then I have this card here, okay? So it's 3 codes you have to use. So that's a good one. Okay. Yes? It doesn't have any no, it don't. So, but I'll answer any kind of question also to the techniques of this card at our Danish stand just outside here, okay? Because I know this is what is important, because to make success in digitizing a whole nation, you have to have access and unique access to all kind of online services. And making that cooperation with the banks where you have to use it daily or weekly, this is what becomes it to go very fast on this agenda, okay? What happened is 3 years ago, we made the citizen service organization. I have 500 people. At that time, I actually had 600 people. But the Lord Mayor gave me estimated $6 million, and I promised him that within 3 years, I will save him annually a $4 million every year. That's a good business case, okay? So we did that business case, and this year I have come along with this target, and the thing to get this savings is, of course, we are 100 people less in citizen service today. I provide better service, and I do it with less people. We are investing the money in online services, of course, and new technology, but also we have to reorganize our whole organization. So we are starting to use the cheaper channels, the online services, and the telephone instead of sending letters. So I invested in call center technology and also in a big digitalization department which is using these online services. And again, internal reorganization, and the last thing is we have to cooperate between our departments. So both in Copenhagen City, but also between government and municipality, and also between the municipalities in Denmark. And we do that. We have common pages, portals, and so on. So we are collaborating more than ever. This meant that the Lord Mayor of Copenhagen, he said, Thomas, you went fine there. I'm ready to give you now $8 million if you can provide me with those 5.6 million in 3 years. And I said, no problem. So I got the money. I got the money up front to invest in all these reorganization and new technology up front. But of course, I have to deliver the efficiency. But we are going very well. Some of these money are, of course, used again for technology, but also this helping the citizens to use the online services is what we are investing in now. And of course, also some of these money are used for those citizens who are never going to be able to use our online services. I will still always have open door in my citizen service center so I can help these people. Of course, using new technology, and as you know, so we all got some of us got a tablet today. More than 50% of the activity on the web page comes now from cell phones and from tablets. So the technology is moving very fast, and we are able to use it a lot more than we ever have been able to do. Again, supporting the citizens' digitalization. As I told you, we have a very efficient call center, 140 people sitting there. I'm able to co-browse them. When the citizens are calling us, I can send them a link and I can see the citizens' own computer site at home, so we can actually help them through an online services. Okay? So we can do that from the call center. So we are able to, on phone, help any kind of citizens provide these services. We are also moving out to help them at university, mosque, and everything. We are doing services a lot more specific to the citizens and helping them in what they need. We are making e-guides and movies so they can see how we are using it. We are using volunteer, elderly volunteer are used so they can help other elder people to use our online services. And actually the elder generation, they are loving it. They can see that they can get access and talk to their kids, which is using all kind of social media and so on. So therefore, we use the elder to help us in that mission. And again, taking care of those, we know it's only in Denmark, and that's special. We talk about 20%, but it's not more than 10 maybe. They are not able to use these online services. And of course, we will help them. Either they are handicapped, they have lack of skills or language problems or technical problems. We will be there and to help them in all kind. Also, we have a lot more time now, even if I'm less people, because when I say to the citizen that can take care of themselves on the internet, I'm not using all that. They're not wasting my time in the citizen service center anymore. And we are saying to them, please, you are a healthy citizen. You can go home and provide your service online. You don't have to stand here in a queue and waste my time. I can use that to help other citizens who need that help even more. And we do that. And therefore, it provides actually better service. This here takes a lot of skills from the managers. A lot of skill. We have to see that we are on target. So every manager gets all the time business intelligence, following up. Are we moving the citizens out into the online services instead of meeting up? They are getting monthly reviews on how we are doing on that. That is one of the things. But also, I need my managers to be able to innovate a lot more than we do. We have to get to use of new solutions. I actually give a bonus for $1,000 every time a manager makes a mistake. Okay? Makes a mistake, he get a bonus. I want them to take risk in using new technology. So they get a bonus when they make a mistake. Of course, the employees has to be on this mission. And therefore, we are doing a lot of debates and discussion and talking about what kind of new service we now are providing so that you can follow up and are able to target on those citizens who are able to, you know, go home and do it yourself, or the ones who need more assistance. And therefore, these new job profiles we are debating. So, recommendation, better citizen service. We have gotten this national strategy, very ambitious. It is helping us. The politicians, they said, okay, let's have the money. We can use that for welfare system. We have to have local leadership, which is digital leadership. Innovation is the key word. You have to reorganize, and you have to have those money up front to have a good business case so you can invest in all those new initiatives. So that's one of the key points. Okay? And I'll give it to Frederiksberg, my colleague.
Thanks, Thomas.
I think I'm going to put this one on. Okay. Does it work? Yes. All right. Thank you, Mr. Jacobsen. We look pretty much alike the way we work in our two municipalities. I'm going to tell you a little bit about creating efficient e-government initiatives in the city of Frederiksberg. And I will tell you a little bit about how do we implement, as a matter of fact, these very ambiguous strategies. And then I will also have a second point in this agenda, that is to talk about how do we collaborate together, local to local, local to government, and just a brief about local to citizens. Just short about the city of Frederiksberg. It's actually, it's kind of like a city of Copenhagen. We are actually in the middle of Copenhagen, surrounded by Copenhagen, a little green spot in the middle. And we have about 100,000 inhabitants, and the city is just increasing and increasing, and it's more and more families with children. And actually, there's something very special about the inhabitants in Frederiksberg. They have the highest ICT skills in Denmark, in the city of Denmark. So that gives us a lot of opportunities to develop our e-services. But also, they do demand that we do have efficient websites. So we have to work very fast in our administration in order to give them that. Also, the digital signature, more than 95% of our citizens, they have the digital signature and they use it. So, yeah. Pardon? I can't.
Public key infrastructure?
Yeah.
Information, computer technology.
Yeah, information, computer, and technology. Skills in using that. That's ICT levels. Our goal in the strategy, it is that, Mr. Wong, he told us it's about, by 2015, all municipal tasks are supported by cohesive digital solutions, ensuring accurate professional administration and putting citizens at the center of all our services. And the biggest challenge, as I see it right now, that is to ensure the full implementation of all our investments, all the way through the end user, because it is at the end user that you do really find all the gains and the results that we can earn money on, if you could say so. So it is, the end user is really an important target for us. This is some of the mega trends you see in the public sector in Denmark, and besides of the national strategy from Mr. Wang's organizations, it's also developing new welfare through citizen participation and making sustainable solutions, and making solutions that empower the citizens to engage in the services, to act themselves, just as Mr. Jacobsen, he told us about. But also a very important thing, it's not just about the citizen. E-government is also about making smarter workflows in our administration So it's all about also developing the administration by technology. And another thing I think which is quite special for Denmark is our cooperation with the framework architecture, that we do have more and more common legacy systems and core data in big systems, open data, and et cetera. This is the cash flow in our digitization plan, and it pretty much follows the same progress as Mr. Jacobson's organization. So all in all, we also do have a very good business case, and we also do the investments up front. The major, they will give us money because it's a good business case. They can see that our citizens' tax, it will, we can use that in solutions that really gives you value. For example, we call it the hot hands instead of the cold hands, so you can develop daycare systems and education and so on and so on. So we put the money over to that because of what we do with our digital solutions. The way, like, how do we do all this? Because it is really, it's very ambitious. And the way we do it, we do manage all these digital themes in programs. And each program has a team of professional project management people that will implement full scale all our solutions. And in these programs, we also have decision makers. So they are there to take responsibility of what we're doing now. Now we're developing the organization. Now we're doing something new, and we need to stand up for it, etc. and etc. So that's a special thing, I think, and it works well. But of course, we can also develop that more and more. But it's called, we call it program management. This is just a slide that shows some of our digital solutions this year, but we have so much more solutions, and we can talk more about that at our booth. But where's the, yes. Up here we see is, it's like kind of the Xbox Connect thing that we use for virtual rehabilitation. So you can do it online instead of having a worker to go all to the daycare or to the elderly home and so on. And what we have here is the vacuum cleaner, so that, you know, instead of coming to the elderly house to vacuum, they can do it themselves. So this is empower the citizen to do things themselves instead of having the municipality service to come and do it for them. And this is speak recognition, which we are implementing right now. So where instead of tapping all your information, well, you speak. So if you do that very well, you can save 50% of your time. This is e-recruitment. When we do recruit staff for the administration, we do it all digitally. So it's and this is digital post. So it's a variety of our digital solutions, both to optimize our administration, but also to optimize, of course, the services to our citizens. And now this is the second theme for my speech that I will address. This is the way, like, how do we collaborate? I mean, 98 small kingdoms, a national government, like, how do we cooperate with all this? And why should we not cooperate? I will start from the bottom. This here is where we do cooperate with the voluntary organizations. So they go out and they teach and educate, just at Mr. Jacobson's organization. They teach the elderly generation in how to use the digital solutions and how to use computers, etc., etc. The other way where we cooperate, it's this call center platform that Copenhagen, they have really done a wonderful job with developing that. And we're about to do the same thing. So why should we do it ourselves? Why should we build all this ourselves? Is our neighbor municipality. They have been through all the different steps of that. So, and when they're so nice to offer us to join them for a very cheap price, then why not? So, so that's what we're going to do. And the third place where we do cooperate is with the national level, Mr. Wong's organization. And I will show you here a showcase of what we've been doing here. But just before I show you that, why do we do this? Well, it's more inexpensive and it's more sustainable in developing our solutions. And we need, I think that's one of the themes of today, what I've been listening to. It's also thinking sustainable development in all levels. And yeah, there's of course some cons, that is that it takes longer time sometimes and you have to sit in groups and blah, 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 but it's a good payoff. We have this national portal called citizen.dk, borger.dk. It has about 800 articles, websites articles, and there is a professional team of webmasters sitting at Mr. Wong's organization. So when we have that, and it might sound that we're lazy in my municipality, but I would say we're just smart. Why should we write at our website if we can get all the text and information from Mr. Wong's organization? The citizens has already been taxed by that. So that's what we do. And instead, then we do co-develop their texts with them. We try to explain how do you have to develop your web pages so it actually makes the end user to use them. And so what we've been telling the people at your organization is that it's all about creating web pages that is findable at Google, because that's the big door to all our solutions. 70% of all the users, they come from Google. It's also about KPI measuring. We do need to put the effort in there where it gives us an investment. It's also about creating web pages that has this call to action that makes you see, here I can act, I will do this myself. And also test your users, develop with your users. It's so much less expensive if you do test all the way through when you do develop, instead of coding everything up front and then afterwards you see, oh, it doesn't work. So this picture, it's...
I'll tell you something about this picture.
Huh?
I'll tell you something about this picture.
Yeah?
My daughter, when she saw this picture, she thought this is our cat and this is our salad bowl.
Well, yeah.
She was asking me, what is good girl?
What is this? Yes. Well, this is a picture of how I think we around the world do treat our websites. It's too many messages in way too little space. And you can see the cat is not comfortable. So what we do need to do is that our portals, they must be simple. So less is really more when you do speak about digital matters. If not, the citizens, they will end up calling us, or even worse, they will write emails about this and that, and we will get unstructured data, and that is so expensive. We saw earlier about the channels, the cost of different channels. So this is our new website, which is HTML5 developed, and it's completely accessible also for disabled people. We have developed it with also disabled people, so they can use it as well. And what you see here is, no, it's that one, where did I put it? Well, up you see that we have a search engine, which says because 70% of our visitors, they come to search. So of course we need to give them that possibility right away. And we also do develop our website in your situation. I mean, are you getting married? Are you having a child? Are you going on pension, etc., etc.? And then we do have our self-service at the left, and we do that out of the Pareto's law, like the 80-20 rule. we do concentrate on the 20% that gives the 80% of value. If we can't do everything, then it will just get mediocre. And of course, it's device-independent site because we see more and more it's mobile devices that comes to our service sites. And actually, what you see here, the big one is an iPad and the smaller tablets. And here you really see that we do put less is more. The most important is our search engine and so on and so on. And this is almost my last slide. It shows like here you can do your self-service. And call to action for me is the red. I now can't find the, where did I put it? Okay. Well, in my hand. I'm sorry. So this is what we call to action. Here is a sign up for daycare or something like that. And here you can start immediately here. Go here, straight away, sign up for it. And if you need some more information, you go here to how-to information. Before you start, you do this, you do that, you do this and that, etc. And all this is text from Mr. Wong's organization. We do not write that ourselves. So of course there also is our good business case. We don't spend time on that. All these devices. And my last page is also about, we need to show, of course, even though our citizens are very digital, of course we also need to tell them about our solutions. So it's also about digital branding, branding our solutions online and offline, so they always know that we're there for them 24 hours. Thank you very much.
حابين نشكر ضيوفنا على التقديم الطيب اللي قدموه ونفتح حلقة النقاش للإجابة على استفساراتكم وأسئلتكم. تفضلوا. تفضل. Can we have the mic, please?
I mean, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed today announced, or he ordered, or he suggests that to provide all the citizen service through the mobile. Could you just talk about that mobile, how to use the mobile to make easy services for the citizens?
بس عندي طلب واحد بس، لو تعرف بنفسك والجهة اللي تعمل فيها.
My name Adil Rabi'a. I am the media advisor for Abu Dhabi Municipality because we are using also e-services, but you know us in UAE we have more than 200 nearly nationalities. Some of them they use only the telephone. I mean, they cannot use the internet, not especially when the worker. Even through our citizens, they don't know even to write. Some, I mean, old people. I'm talking the new generation. But how to use that technology, the mobile, to solve their problem or their daily demands.
وضح السؤال. Could you answer, please?
Yes, for the time being, I showed you this code card here. It's still not ready for the use of accessing on mobile telephone. You can't use it for that yet, but it will come within the next year. Within this year, we will be able to access our online services in a new version. This is because of the security. We want it to be the highest as possible, and therefore we have been waiting. Also, it's a cooperation with the banks, as I was telling. So we want from the government, the banks to pay for this development so we can use it with telephones. We can't use it for telephones yet, but it will come within the year. Yeah.
Yes, but when we speak about self-service also, it's actually also in order to use and understand information, because actually a lot of researchers and etc. has shown that more than 50% of all our calls is things that where you don't need to click and very technical systems cooperating together. It's also just about understanding our information, what to do and what not to do. And that's actually something that has surprised up in the levels, also in the organizations, that there is really a good business case just here in writing information that the citizens, they do understand.
اتفضل. بس المايك لو سمحت وتعرف بنفسك.
I am Suleiman Amarni, the Director General of Information Technology in the Ministry of Finance of Palestine. Thank you all for your impressive presentations. And my question is, Mr. Wang, what is the Ministry of Finance doing in all this story and why in Denmark? Isn't it the responsibility of telecommunication ministry or someone else? This is a more strategic question, please.
Yes, a very good question. I think we had a situation just 1.5 years ago where the responsibility of e-government was divided between two main ministries, Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, and the Ministry of Finance. In connection with the last general election and the forming new government in Denmark, all responsibility for e-government was assembled into a new agency within the Ministry of Finance. The reason for that is very simple. The Ministry of Finance has the tools to enable and driving the implementation through the budget tools, of course, when you have the negotiations with the municipalities on the yearly budget allocation of funds, and also through financial agreements with other ministries in order to push forward the development. So, yes, we need to have a power center in order to be able to drive the implementation, both within central government and with regards to local government. And what is quite unique in Denmark, as also my colleague explained, is that we actually don't have fights about it anymore. We have, since 10 or 15 years, we have a tradition of consensus in this area, meaning that we can have quite powerful implementation activities that actually are carried all through with an effect towards citizens, because we have a common mindset and common thinking in all levels of government that are represented in these common public sector e-government strategies. So that is quite important. If you have fighting between levels of government, you will not have the same drive in implementation and the same coherent thinking about providing seamless services to citizens and businesses. This we have avoided for 15 or 20 years, I think.
السؤال اللي بعده.
Thank you.
على مشاركتهم ضمن تجربتهم المميزة وبكل وضوح وشفافية، ونشكركم على حضوركم ومشاركتكم لنا وتفاعلكم معنا. واللي حاب يتعرف زيادة على تجربة الدنمارك يقدر يزور البوث مالهم في سوق المعرفة، وبيكونوا موجودين إن شاء الله لمباشر. ونحب نذكركم في نهاية الجلسة يا ريت تسوون التقييم الخاص بالجلسة في الموقع باستخدام التابلت الأجهزة اللوحية اللي توفرت لكم. بارك الله فيكم وشكرا. Thank you.